What up, it's your boy Dvrth here again for another video. Today we're here with Stone Ocean episode 21? Yeah, 21. Last episode, we kind of tried to figure out what exactly Yo-Yo Ma's ability was. Though I kind of me personally, at least, I gave up like midway through the episode, mostly because to me, I'm like, as long as Foo Fighters can kill DNG, we're good. So it doesn't really matter what he's doing. The problem with that is that Foo Fighters did get on the scene, did get to DNG, but was spotted by Poochie. Problem with that is that Poochie is not going to let Foo Fighters go. Like, this is really bad for Poochie. And because this is really bad for Poochie, it has put him in a corner, and people, animals, and any other sentient being is at its scariest when it is put in a corner. So things do not look good for FF at all. So I'm terrified. It doesn't look like we've been talking a lot about like how FF might die. It's looking like it's starting to look like this is the end. And with that last episode, now I'm terrified. So we're gonna get straight into it. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. You're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or something totally different, the best place to that in, as always, my social media links are going to be in the description below. And if you want these episodes early and the full-length reaction to these episodes, you can subscribe to my Patreon. Links are going to be in the description for that as well. We also have Discord if you want to join that. So with all that being said, let's get our headphones. Make sure they're on. Them bitches is on, and let's just get into it. Okay. Got to feel a little bit of. Yeah, got to live a little bit of life. She's dead. Like, they're dead. They're dead as fuck. Oh, Foo Fighters are so dead. Oh, so fucking dead. I ain't about to lie. I would have shot DNG in the head. Yup. I would have shot DNG in the fucking skull. Mink, 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 mink. Oh, you piece of shit. Oh. Fuck no. Let's go. Demon. Absolute demon. Yup. Oh shit, the baby. Was that to stand? I think that was just something that happened. Yeah, so that was just something that was happening. Fuck. Not my dog. Oh, fuck. Oh, come on, big dog, please. Oh, God damn. Bitch. Was it a plant? Was it beautiful? Don't give him a damn thing. Gotcha, dumb. Gotcha, dumbass. Fuck with him. If this is the end, fuck with him. It's enough to control. What? Oh, let's go. Let's go. We in this bitch. Oh, we in this bitch. What the fuck? They're boiling? No aquatic organism on Earth could dwell. What the? What? To stand bit, it turns water into hot water. No way! She got killed by boiling water? Oh. Alright, let's get it. Just be careful of whatever stand it has. What? What the fuck? You got small? You got small as fuck. Oh shit, the closer things get to it, the smaller they get. What? Okay. So what? Okay. Right, and so on and so forth. Shit. I don't know, man. You better get atomized. Oh my god, even. But the rock? What? Oh, okay, well, fuck. Oh my god. Ah, shit. Oh, fuck, you get weaker too. This is like the third size sand that we've gotten so far in JoJo, but damn, this one's strong. No, it's not gonna work, I don't think. You're weaker, right? What the fuck? He can get bigger! What the f- What happens when you hit? Or do you ever? Cause you get what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh well, let's not hang on. Wait. But the rock is big as fuck. Oh, what? It's let's think about this. If it went through a gestation period of like an hour, it's not crazy to think that the baby is going to learn faster than most. Oh. Oh, what? Fuck. What? Oh, okay, I was about to say, is that the baby too? Let's dive it down. Oh shit. Oh shit. Run sideways. Oh fuck. Shit. Oh fuck. Oh. 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 Joestar, Joestar, stand up. Let's go. Oh fuck. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. They're both Joestars. Oh shit. Oh shit. That's tough. So it did. So the baby did was attracted, or like, yeah, like attracted to Jolene because they're both Joestars. That, oh shit, that's crazy. That's crazy. I so what the fuck is the baby? Ah, that's it. That's it. They got my nigga. Damn. Damn. They got my nigga. They caught my nigga lacking. Oh. Oh Lord Jesus, why they catch my nigga lacking like that, bro? Um Damn, bro. That and got killed by, like, I don't even know, like, where was the stand user, or like what was this, like, all we know was that it was a stand that boiled water, but where was the stand? Like, what was the stand user? What, where, what, how did that happen? Who got the stand? It was just random. It was just random. Like just got it. Shit. Too bad. I made the water boil for real, so you dead. Like, what? Where did that come from? And that was my fear. That was my fear in this fight, is that he has so, and I don't know if I said this in the last episode, or at last episode's discussion or not, but like, my fear is that he has Poochie has so many stands at his disposal. It's not really a thing of like, oh, can you beat Whitesnake? It's how many stands and how many counters does he have, and will you be able to counter all of his counters? And unfortunately, in the case of FF, no, you don't have enough counters for all of his counters. Unfortunately, call my nigga lacking. Call my nigga lacking. That's all I can say. But she got her job done. Like, Foo Fighters got their job done. Killed D and G. Got got Shigechi out of there, which is funny because Foo Fighters damn near, like, almost had like a not even damn near, Foo Fighters actually had a 1-to-1 Shigechi death while killing Shigechi's voice actors. New, like, it was so weird, right? Like, now I'm thinking about it, because if we remember, and this, I guess this has nothing really to do with the actual episode, but if we remember, this is just something funny, is that if we remember, like, back in not season 4, part 4, Shigechi died when somebody was basically chasing him. Kira was chasing him, and he found a way to distract Kira, run away, got away, and as soon as he got to the one thing that would save him, and he touched the one thing that would save him, Kira's like, Killer Queen already touched that. And it was the kind of the same thing with Foo Fighters, while trying to kill, after killing basically Shigechi, where they get over to the one thing that would save them, touch it, and the main villain's like, too bad. Like, I already set that trap up, big dog, right? So It is. That's just a cool thing. I don't know if that was something that they intentionally set up, or that was just, hey, that, that it just happened and then it worked out that way. But that was really cool. Regardless of how cool it was, though, it's still sad. As we said before, or as I've said before, Foo Fighters is one of the more if not most interesting characters that we've had in this part, if not in JoJo's, because of their understanding of intellect and how they see the world, because they are not human. They in a lot of ways, Foo Fighters, and I won't beat, I was about to say beat a dead horse, and I feel like that is it's I feel like that's inappropriate right now, because they're dead. But I won't talk too much on this because we've talked about it before, really. But the interesting thing about Foo Fighters is that since they are not human, but pretty much playing human, they have a lot more. They have a lot more interesting outlook on life, humans, and stuff like that. Some of the more interesting more interesting viewpoints, I would say, that you would get on certain things will always come from people that don't know about those things, right? People that are new to those things. It's very, and it happens all the time with like different stuff. Like you could find new looks on certain things if you introduce it to somebody who's never seen it, and that's why Foo Fighters to me is so interesting, is that because Foo Fighters, the only thing Foo Fighters really knew was intellect, and not really humanity and what creates that humanity and intellect and stuff like that. Because they don't know what it is to be human, when they get to play human, they start coming up with new ideas, viewpoints, stuff like that. And in this episode, in the beginning, which was a huge red, like, Foo Fighters basically from the beginning of this episode walked over to the closet, stripped down, and got a red shirt and put that bitch on. And from that point on, I was like, fuck. But in this episode, Foo Fighters talking about what they feel like makes life, I guess you could say, what makes humans, what does that all what is that all comprised of? And from their point of view, it's the memories that you make. It's the memories that you make with the people and the friends and stuff like that, which can be it could be very on the nose and cheesy and stuff like that. But in a show like JoJo's, where we are literally talking about memories, fate, and stuff like that, and these are they have become literal some actual physical constructs of the world. It's not as cheesy anymore. It's not cheesy at all anymore. You have to actually take this stuff seriously. So when somebody talks about, oh, it has to be fate, usually in a show you're like, yeah, of course, right? Oh, it's the memories that I make with my friends. Of course, right? But in a show like this, it's serious, because these are real constructs of the world that have real ramifications and real what's the word? Ramifications in real place, like they have a real place in this universe. So when Foo Fighters is talking about, like, yes, it like life is the memories and the time that you spend with your friends, and that's what creates the intellect, and the intellect comes, all that very all that stuff that they were talking about. It's interesting to just look, to actually listen to it and see their take on it, because as we're getting into where we're getting in this show, that those things are important, because with Poochie getting all these memories and stuff like that, we don't actually know what they're gonna do with it. Now we know why he has JoJo's, and whatever he's gonna do with whatever his plans with that is, who fucking knows. I don't fucking know anymore. But there's a real possibility that Foo Fighters' words could ring true a lot more than what the show, or like shows in general, would usually set that type of stuff up for. Now, another thing about the fight is that throughout this episode and the last episode, Poochie is constantly asking, like, what did it look like? What was it beautiful? What was it? This, was it that? Like, explain it to me. Like, let me see it, right? And the problem with Poochie, Jesus Christ, the problem that I have with Poochie asking these questions is that it's kind of it's kind of counterintuitive, right? Or maybe it's just contradictory to what I would assume Poochie would want for the world, right? And here's what I mean by that, right? Let's say, and I think that the whole heaven thing is pretty solid at this moment. Like, I think that is the end goal, right? Let's say that Poochie does have some sort of time manipulation stand in his back pocket that he's just not using for whatever reason, or the prophecy does something to where it gets the whole world to heaven and stuff like he wants to, right? Let's say that he does that, right? The problem with Poochie asking Foo Fighters, like, what did it look like, stuff like that, is that for a man of God, and I don't claim to be someone who's a professional in men of God, but for someone like Poochie, who is a man of God, a man of faith, we've talked before that his whole thing is that he wants as many people, if not everybody, to all see heaven, right? And that's not just in the show, that's like real world, like that is the idea of faith and stuff like that. And Poochie has done a lot in this show, this part, to contradict himself, but this is one of the biggest contradictories that he has had to date. The idea is that everybody makes it to heaven, sees it, blah blah blah. That is the idea. Problem is that Poochie does not seem to include himself in that. And the worst part about it is that he does it unknowingly, right? For somebody who seems to basically be ending the world, probably, like, this could probably, it's a possibility that is his plan. For someone who possibly is ending the world, he doesn't seem to add himself into that equation. It seems like he wants to shepherd his flock to heaven, but he's not seeing that his plan, the way his plan is the course that his plan is on, the way he's railroading his plan, he's not gonna see it. He's not gonna see it. This is a problem because, one, it's selfish. Because it's both selfish and sad at the same time, right? For example, if somebody wanted to, if somebody's plan was to destroy the world, let's put it in simple terms, right? If somebody's plan is to destroy the world, to me, the fair trade-off would be that that person that does it does not get to die as well. they have to live and be the only one that they have to live and be the only one that is left. Why is because the the loneliness that you would feel of being the only one left is enough punishment for doing what you did, right? And for Poochie's plan, it's the same thing, right? If he wants to take the entire world to heaven and he wants to do all this stuff, right? The fair trade-off is that he's the only one that doesn't get to see it. And while he's asking all these questions, it seems like, and like I said, I don't think he understands that he's doing this either. Like, I don't think he sees it. Like, I don't think he understands that this is where he's going. Like, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on Poochie's plan. I don't know how he plans on doing all this, but it seems that he doesn't, like, he won't be the one to see. Like, it seems like he will be that lone man after the world is destroyed. He will be the last one. He will be the only one to not see it. That's a problem. That's a problem. It may be, this just depends on how you see this. It may be that it's a problem for the world because, oh, you got to live while everybody else got to die. Now, I hate to get into this conversation because death is, we don't know if it's good or bad, right? There's you could make a case for whether it's good or bad to pass on to the next life. The next life is, even specifically in this show, right? We don't know whether it's good or bad. We don't know what's on the other side, so we can't really vouch for that. But depending on how you look at it, you're the only one to survive, so that's fucked up, right? Like, you got to live while everybody else didn't. Or another way you can look at it is that you're the only one to survive, and that's sad because now you're alone. Another way you can look at it is that you're the only one to survive, and that's contradictory because the idea of a man of faith that you go to. But with the plan of wanting to bring the world to heaven, and you're asking other people, what did it look like? And granted, let me, and I feel like I always have to do this whenever we're talking like in depth about stuff. Granted, none of this could be what's actually going on. He could just be really enamored in the idea of the birth of the green baby and stuff. You could just be like, oh, I really want to know what it looked like, blah blah. You know, it could be a lot simpler than what I'm talking about. But for me, at least, it seems like he's not going to see it, right? You know, and that's a problem specifically for him. And even though Poochie is a villain, I still have to look at his plan realistically, and that doesn't work. Like, it's contradictory, and that's why it's so hard for me to explain, because it contradicts everything that he is supposed to embody as a man of faith. You should be going too, but the fact that you're asking, like, if I grew up in a church. I know how preachers, pastors, chaplains, stuff like that, I know how they talk. They don't talk like they don't talk like they're gonna be the only. They don't go, oh, you saw God? What'd he look like? Explain him to. I've never heard any man of faith, whether it's Christianity, Catholicism, I don't care what religion it was. I have never seen a man of faith try to ask somebody, and I mean just regular people that are in the faith. Yes, okay, understandable. They sometimes they can be fanatical with it or whatever. They can be really interested in, but actual men of faith, right? Actual people of faith, people that are leaders within that religion. They don't ask that. They don't ask, what did it look like? Blah blah blah. They don't ask that, because the idea for them is that they will see it eventually too. If we all go, that means me too. So I don't care. I don't care, like, if somebody got a sneak peek. It's not in my repertoire of Bible verses for me to care that somebody else got to see it before me, because eventually we all will. And for somebody like Poochie, who seems to have a way to get to heaven for everybody all at the same time, why would he care what why would he care what a facet of that plan looked like? Now, granted, oh shit, I hit the fuck out of my mic. Now, granted, it may be that he wants to know, and I think we talked about this as well, but maybe he wants to know where we're at, like, where are we in the timeline of the plan, right? Like, so what are we doing here, right? Like, okay, what did it look like? Where's it? Where in his maturation period was it? So I know, oh, we in step 17. You know what I'm saying? Like, that could be what he's talking about. But the fanatical and very like, just the way that he asked these questions, it wasn't a desperate, oh my god, where are we in the plan? It was like let me just touch the hem of his trench coat. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like the former. It was like the latter. He was acting as somebody who, whether he knows it or not, isn't going to see it. Now, with all that being said, like I said, this is a problem for him, because if he goes through with it and he does get there, we still have to remember that this is an anime. This is a story being told. Yes, they could have the end be that Poochie wins. They could definitely have that. But I'm going to assume that a couple people or somebody has to be there to fight that nigga, right? and that's a loophole in his plan. That's the reason why this is bothering me so, like, it's actually bothering me that, like, with this plan. Like, before, the plan was confusing, right? The plan was confusing before, where I was like, I don't know, heaven, okay, this may be what he's doing. And as the show went on, I'm thinking, I still don't know. Maybe he is, maybe he's not, and I'm still at that point, right, where, like, maybe he is, maybe he's not, because we've gone on so long and I don't see how he does it. Yeah, we've had our theories, but I don't see how he plans on doing it with just Whitesnake. I get it, he has all the sands or whatever, but if he were to want to do it, he should have. If he had the means to do it, he would have already done it. There are plot holes in his plan that have not been filled just yet, that make me double take on what exactly, like, I don't know what's going on, right? But with all that being said, this frustrates me the most because it's not that it makes it any more confusing, it's that it contradicts everything that he is supposed to. It doesn't make sense. Like, it makes sense, but it contradicts what he's supposed to be doing, even if it's just for one person, which is himself. That goes against who you are. It goes against what you stand for. What are we talking about now, right? So I don't know, man. I'm not sure what I just don't get it. I don't know. Like, what is the idea of him doing this? And to be fair, I feel like it's not in a preface. It's not a preface. It's not even a preface if I'm saying this like 10-15 minutes after the rant. But to be fair, it may not even be like that. It may be just me. It may just be me reaching, but it doesn't make sense, and I have to call it out when it doesn't make sense. It is contradictory. And that's not like I should probably say it's not a knock on the show, right? I believe that it's, if anything, it's a possibility that it is a plot point of the show that he is not adding himself in that equation, right? That is a problem, and we've seen this problem in other anime, right? Specifically one other anime that I will not name because that is probably a spoiler. But we have seen this problem, and it is a contradiction. So I don't know. Let me get off that topic before I ramble about nothing. So I ramble more about nothing. So we have the baby. We don't have a name for this baby. Green baby, green child, green toddler, toddler Verde. Whatever the kid's name, right? Finally born, has a stand as we thought. Of course it has a stand. Of course it's a Joestar. But this stand is insanely strong. Insanely strong. Mostly because while it is the third time that we have gotten a size manipulation stand, there was a prosciutto in part 5, Guess in part 6, and now what's his stand name? I think it showed us during the episode, but I looked up, saw it, I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I looked down because I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to see that right now. So I didn't see it. And I don't think that I'm gonna go back and look at it because I'm afraid that it may be a spoiler. It wouldn't have it sometimes anime has a problem with like the stat cards or like public information cards or whatever, where it starts spoiling shit. And especially if you take a glance at it and nothing makes sense on first glance, yeah, you probably shouldn't read it. So I won't go back. But this kid, the green kid, green child, green baby, whatever. Green baby sounds catchier. Whatever. The green baby apparently has a size stand. Is probably the strongest that we've seen so far. Is that it? When things get closer to it, they shrink, and they shrink. Not well. We don't know just yet because we haven't. Nobody's tried, or at least nobody's gotten to this point. But it seems like they shrink to infinitum, or until they are, as Ansui said, nothing. So basically this child can like who's touching him now. Granted, from the end of this episode we know, but like who, if this child wanted to, who the fuck is touching it? Like if it wanted nobody near it, it could do that, and nobody's gonna touch it, right? Extremely powerful stand. There was no way that we were going to get anywhere close to it without it being like, oh, you are a Joestar. I am intrigued. We are drawn together, for we are brethren. And that was like literally the only thing that saved us. At least in that moment, that was the only thing that could have saved us, and that was the only thing that did save us. Is that Jolene being a Joestar the baby also being a Joestar decided, I'm interested because for some reason I am compelled to go near that, and if I to go near that, I must turn off my stand. So it brought Jolene back. Now, what does this mean for our team, right? This is technically a win. It's hard to say when in this episode Foo Fighters just died. Hard to say when, but this is technically a win. Now, Ansui does not exactly see it like that because, as he says, he's like, yo, I just know this baby is destined to do some dangerous things, some devious things, right? And he's not wrong. He's not wrong, because if this baby is a part of Father Pucci's plan, good chance that Father Pucci has a step in this plan for the baby to do something we don't know, that could possibly cause bad things to happen. I don't like. It's hard to say what exactly he wants to happen and what exactly he's trying to do with the kid, because we haven't really got much information on that front, except that for some reason Jotaro knows about it. Jotaro did nothing with the information, and the baby can't be destroyed. I don't know if he meant that in a way of like, no, the baby like literally just can't be destroyed. And that may be a thing of like, because it's technically a homunculus, or he meant that in like, no, the prophecy or fate says that it can't be destroyed, so it won't be destroyed. Either one doesn't really matter, because they're both equally dangerous. But for the moment, we have a small W, with the baby like actually interested in Jolene for it being a Joestar. Now, how will Father Pucci actually get a hold of the baby? He doesn't have many cards in his hand outside of his stands, which won't, I don't think that's going, well, you know, let me not like, let me not talk down on that man's repertoire of stands, because we don't know. That man had a random ass stand that boiled water, so who knows what kind of stand he has to combat the. We really need to find out what that baby's at least what the baby's stand name is. So I'm going to assume that he may have something that might remedy the baby stand, to the point that he can get it. Now, what does he do with the baby when he gets it? Who fucking knows, right? To be honest with you, with it being a homunculus, there's not much to do with it except for add something to it. I think we've talked about this before as well, is that with something like what the baby is, and now that we know that what it actually became, and its maturation process and all this other stuff, like we can now like safely say with homunculus like things, or just homunculus, there isn't much to add on to them outside of adding into them, because that's kind of how they work. That's just how these types of things work. The only problem, as I said before, is just getting close to it, which is kind of wild. With a power like this, it's going to be difficult. But I don't know. Things are genuinely getting bad, and I don't mean that in a like, oh no, things are looking bad for the heroes. I mean, which it kind of is, but things are looking like the end games for real, because as I've said time and time again, you know that it's the end game when characters lose limbs lose appendages, lose parts of themselves. And the more that a character, more parts of themselves that a character loses, for me at least, and this is just like how I metagame stories, that the more parts that a character loses, the more likely that that character is to die. And we can pretty much add that line of thinking to damn near all of JoJo, damn near all of anime, damn near all of TV, movies and stuff. The more parts that a character loses, the more likely that they are to die. And the more parts of a character that that they lose, that is pretty much congruent with where you're at in the story, right? Like, that is just like, to me, I'm not a writer or anything like that. I'm not that talented, but to me that seems like a normal motif for a lot of writers, that when you get to the end, they have to like lose a finger, an arm, an eye, something like that, right? That's how you know a story and a character is coming to an end. So Jolene losing an eye is a little scary. Ansui still being pocked with holes and stuff like that, that's scary, because now things are getting not great. I was really hoping that once DNG or Yo-Yo Ma actually died, like their features and stuff would go back to normal, but no, this is just showing you that no, it's real now. Like, this is the end game for real, so be careful, right? So great episode, scary shit. The actual stand is the baby's stand is, it looks cool, but goddamn it was terrifying when it was just crawling at them. So cool stand. Still confused as fuck about what exactly Poochie is trying to do, because it just doesn't make sense. But it's fine. We'll get there when we get there. This is getting real. This is like, the stakes are getting higher, and with stands like this, we are moving towards that singularity point that a story like this kind of has to have, right? Like, you kind of have to have it, right? You have a stand, you have a stand that takes memories, you have a stand that makes things small to the point that they are nothing. You have people talking about heavens. We're getting close to like things getting so grand that things just stop, right? So whatever comes next is probably going to be some wild shit, and this is all like a very good way to hype up the audience, the viewers, to be excited for what's to come. Because me personally, I am very excited for what's come. Things are getting crazy as fuck, and my nigga died. My nigga died. Yeah, it sucks. But anyway, great episode. Really enjoyed it. JoJo's is fucking insane. God, this show is insane. And it never ceases to stop being insane. This episode is no different. So if you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. You're just a lurker. I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or something totally different, the best place to send that in. As always, my social media link's gonna be in the description below. If you want, wait. If you want these episodes early or the full length reaction to these episodes, you can subscribe to my Patreon. That's in the description as well. And we have Discord if you want to join that. So with all that being said, let me get my off button ready. There it is. You all stay amazing, stay safe, and take care of yourselves.